guys, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to Coffee Talk. Grab your coffee and join us for a talk today. We're going to talk about the 5 stages of retirement.
Yeah, and we've touched on some of these topics I think once before on some of our coffee talks, but it's always good to go over them again more in depth. So today, the first stage is, again, like we talk, is the pre-retirement stage.
And that's where you sit and you plan and you dream. Yeah. And we did this for years, actually, before we retired. That's when you're planning and you're thinking about it and you're dreaming.
You have so many ideas. You write down places that you want to go and make a bucket list of 20 to 50 things you want to do for the next 20 years once you do retire. Just that fantasy dream of retirement.
Yes. And then you go from the pre-planning stage till you're retired.
Yeah.
And so you're in the honeymoon stage. Everything's wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah, because, well, not for everybody, but for most people, you just think, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. I don't have to go to work anymore. I can do whatever I want.
You're thinking about it for years and years. It's like it's dragging and dragging, and the next thing you know, it's here. You're retired. Everything, you don't have to get up. You got the freedom to do whatever you want. It's the honeymoon of retirement.
Right. Then you go from the honeymoon to the disenchantment stage of retirement. And that's when you say, well, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are some things to retirement. And that's where, some people struggle with things like some people don't know what to do with their time. Some people might feel lost because they've always worked and now they're not working and I don't know what to do, and they go and stir crazy.
And you're always, and we've encouraged people to spend your money and do the things during retirement. And during this time, whether it be 3-5 years down the road, you're thinking, am I going to have enough money for the next 10 to 15 years? So you start refiguring your finances and getting with your financial advisor. Am I going to have enough money to keep on doing whatever lifestyle retirement you want? And that's sometimes gets scary, because we've thought about that. So we want to make sure that we have a great time for the when we do retire, but we want our money to last,
right? So
we can travel and do as much. But the key to all this and the key to retirement is finances.
And too, in that disenchantment phase can be where, reality sets in. You're not a teacher anymore. You're not a doctor anymore. Or you're not that professional person that you were anymore. And you kind of lose yourself. You lose your self-esteem.
Yes.
Like, who am I now? What am I doing? Does my life even have a purpose? So that's kind of that disenchantment phase that you go through. And
you might even think, how could my, work, even exist without me? Because, you were thinking you were the top dog, or without you, the place would fall apart.
Yeah, and you find out, hey, they do.
Yeah, life goes on without you.
Yeah. Then the 4th stage of retirement is the reorientation, where, okay, you've had the honeymoon part, you've been disoriented and lost your self-esteem for a while, but then you finally get on track and you get oriented, you find your purpose, you find your place, you get into a routine that you know what you're going to do.
And sometimes, that part might just be that you need a few, hours alone doing things that you want to do, having a hobby or something that you like doing, and just going out and doing it, whether it be with the grandkids, just you and the grandkids, and your spouse having, an hour or two, a week, a day, or whatever it might be, to do things that they want to do, and then doing things together, because when you're together 24/7, sometimes it can be pretty hard.
And if you were, say, a teacher and you're not teaching anymore, there's plenty of opportunities to volunteer. Schools are always wanting volunteers, and libraries and different places. So you can always use your gifts, use what you were doing in your job to volunteer at different places and help. And that might make you feel more oriented into the retirement life. Because when you've done something your whole entire life, sometimes it's hard to just completely
cold turkey stop.
You know, you need an outlet for those gifts that you have, for those talents, for what you've done for years. And there's plenty of places that they can be used, but sometimes it takes some work on our part to seek out those things and to find, okay, you know, I'm not full-time employed anymore. What is my place and what am I going to do? And once we find that, then we fall into that routine. And then that brings us to the 5th stage of retirement, and that is stability. You've gone through all these different stages, and now it's like, okay, we've settled into this thing called retirement. It is a different lifestyle. It is different than we've ever done before because we've always worked. I mean, most people from the time they're a teenager to the, they're in their 60s or whatever, they've worked. They don't know anything else. And so it is a different lifestyle and it takes adjusting. And that's why there's these different stages that you go through, but then you fall into that retirement routine. And like we've said before, we had no trouble. I mean, we were both ready. We just slid right in.
Just a very small adjustment for us.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
And for us, doing these coffee talks is an outlet for us. Because, I mean, we worked in ministry together for years. And so this is something that we can do to help other people who are looking to retire, who are planning to retirement so they know what to expect. And so this is an outlet for us.
This is our opportunity to volunteer our information from experience of the things that we've gone through to help others to experience the best life they can in retirement.
And if you were, say, seeking out marriage counseling, you wouldn't go to somebody who wasn't married. You wouldn't go to somebody who's been divorced 5 times. You would want to go to somebody who's been there, who's had that experience. So we're almost retired 3 years now. Got 3 years almost under our belt. Doesn't seem like it's been that long. But, we hope that by doing these coffee talks, we can help prepare others for going into retirement. If you have anything that you would like for us to talk about in a coffee talk, let us know in the comments, and we'll do our best to do it in another coffee talk. Don't forget to check out our merchandise.
We got some nice stuff on there.
And I'll post a link. We'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. If you'd like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen.